Well, that's interesting. Health Canada tells me it's high in sugars.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Doesn't
My
tell you how
sugar
many
water
sugars.
drink.
But it's the summer edition. It's time to get your sugar on.
Yeah. You get fat.
Not recommended for those under 14.
You can't have any more.
And I
High
13's the
sh-
limit.
caffeine content.
and I shouldn't breastfeed any women when I'm drinking it. So we're safe.
Well, I mean, I think that rule goes.
No, it doesn't, Paul. No, it doesn't.
That's just a life rule for you going forward. I hope.
Again, no, it's not.
Stop trying to control me is the next thing
Yeah.
I'm expected to hear. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the? What did I say about kink shaming?
Isn't there some messed up movie where the guy's got like some Cabbage Patch Kid or something like that he's always pretending to breastfeed? Some messed up comedy. Anyway.
I don't know.
God, I hope not.
Oh, I'm sure it's a thing. I mean,
you're probably right, but I hate it.
yeah, don't Google that, Joe.
No, I'm looking up. So your Health Canada warning got me thinking about my Health Canada warning.
What's your Health Canada warning?
Caution, supplements added, high caffeine content. The caffeine in this Monster Energy drink apparently is 158 milligrams, which is nothing. A large cup of coffee from Tim's has like 270.
Yeah.
Evening, Black Frost. How are you doing this evening? For those watching ahead of the live stream, jump ahead roughly about 15 minutes to get to the first impressions and review of the Civivi Starflare and Stormhowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I got that shit out of the way. Someone else.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Are we busting right into what we're carrying for the week? Because I'm more than happy to go first. It's been a minute since I did. I'm pretty sure.
All right.
Sure, I can get your picture ready. Not that it isn't ready right now.
Or anything at all like that. I mean, I just have to go upstairs for a minute.
Excuse me. Goodbye.
Apparently, first and foremost, hello, Ben. Apparently he's carrying his redacted. I'm pretty sure we can say what it is now because things have arrived.
Correct.
Everybody has collected.
There is no spoilers.
Yes. So enjoy. But on that note, this week I'm carrying the Best Tech Ivy by Ostaf Hell.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
I haven't cut myself with it in a while.
You're gonna buy a budget one?
Not for myself, but probably for a friend.
Okay.
Yeah, the teal one is pretty sweet looking.
I just wondered if you could, stab yourself in both palms at the same time.
I mean,
shit.
It's only fun if both ass cheeks get stabbed. It's
all things are possible through Christ.
Yeah, I've heard that.
All you have to do is believe, Paul.
That's it.
The rest is in his hands.
Apparently, there's some dust on the inside of my knife too. So there's
enjoy that, everybody.
Yeah,
a little
pocket dust for you.
Pocket dust. At least it's not ending up in your eyes.
Stop trying to control me.
Looks like there's sand in your knife, Paul.
Yeah, a little pocket sand. Always got to be prepared.
Yeah, indeed.
I'm not actively Q-tipping out my knife right now. Shut up.
So, Ben, spoiler alert. Benchmade Bug Out CF Elite. You're welcome, Patreon members. Yeah, I mean, you paid for it. Thank yourself.
Christmas 2023, we achieved.
It was not June. It's not June yet.
No, see?
In the earlier half of the year, if we're rounding down, it's still 2023.
We made it, guys. we did it.
Success.
We saved Christmas.
Beautiful.
And also, yeah. I mean, really, it's just a big thank you back to you guys because, we appreciate you guys tuning in and enjoying our shenanigans, as it were.
These are my shenanigans.
You'll also be very happy to know that we've got a Flightanium order coming on the way. So if you choose to bling out said Patreon gifts, it's totally your call. Totally your call.
This wasn't a long con to get more of your money.
Hey, don't worry about my nickname. Anyway, that doesn't make sense to anyone except for us, and that's funnier that way.
It's true.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Flightanium. That's what I was going to say. Is the other thing I learned about Flightanium just recently, which I'm kind of bummed about, is that pocket clip and pocket or body screw configurations can only get anodized as a made-to-order item and can't be actually part of their vendor SKU list.
Sweet.
So when you're talking about all the different body screws and all the different body colors, I don't know if we can get all the fun colors or if we can only get silver and black.
Question to be asked.
Yeah, it's interesting that they're just all the fun colory stuff is made to order. But scales, oh, you watch out. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if we put in an order, they would be made to our order.
That's the debate. That's the debate that we're finalizing right now. Yeah.
But there is a chance.
Anyway, thought I'd throw it out there because it kind of bumped me a little bit if it's not a thing. So
understandable.
Yeah.
Joe, you got something fun and fancy, or are you just
kind of fun? Yeah, fun for me. Kind of fancy. Have
we seen it? Have we seen it before?
No, well, you guys have, but I don't think the show here has. I'm carrying a new to me and kind of in the theme from last stream, actually, an old Spyderco. A Ulais.
One of the weirder offerings from Spyderco.
Yeah, I've been carrying this thing pretty consistently the last little while, and it is just a hell of a lot of fun.
Is it Ulais?
I think it's Ulais. Ulais?
Okay.
Ulais? I'm not sure. For those wondering about the sense of scale and the overall size, here's a police in G10. It's a big a boy.
Yes.
It's about the same length.
Why do you like knives that remind me of spoons?
Yeah, I mean the Zulu kind of fits that too, actually.
Yeah, straight up, dude. And this thing, I don't know, that front of that little recurvy blade's got a little bit of spoon action.
Hold up, I got my folding spoon.
I'm not saying all your knives are spoons, but a couple of your knives are spoons, dude.
Pretty, they're pretty spoony.
Yeah.
Give you a recurve with a hollow grind, and all of a sudden, I'm a bad guy in an '80s movie, apparently. Yeah.
Did bad guys in the '80s kill a lot of people's spoons that I didn't know about?
Yeah, like Without Mercy, it was actually a really big problem.
Yeah, so. Noted.
It's why it's illegal in the UK now.
Yeah, of course.
Makes a lot of sense, actually.
But yeah, I guess the police made its way into a German police officer's hands, and he had some design considerations. So there actually is a linked development history here, which is very strange.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, someone wanted to sleek it out a little.
Get a little bit.
You see,
I'm a little bit more high speed, a little bit more low drag, I guess, for the time. For me, I just love the way this thing feels in hand. It's a lot of fun. In some ways, the blade kind of reminds me of a Spyderco version of a 710.
Yeah, a little more recurvy, but yeah.
Definitely leaning into that, yeah.
It almost has a vibe of, I'm trying to remember exactly, but like Indonesian short sword. I'm trying to remember which one it is, but it has that type of vibe. Not quite Talabong, like behind me or whatever type of thing.
Yeah, not really.
In that wheelhouse. Yeah, like the Sirupate Kukri that we've been playing with recently.
Like that's a pretty close blade shape, yeah. Yeah.
In diddlies.
It's a much better comment than what I was going to make.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, when you were like, I just like the way it feels in hand. I was going to be like, yeah, feels 100%. It's like exactly like a knife.
Yeah. It's great. Thank you.
See? His comment was better.
It's hurtful.
Well, that's why we went with my comment.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
It's a good thing we didn't hear the second one.
Yeah,
no.
that one would have just ruined everything. It's would have been pointless blather for 90 seconds. I mean, geez. Yeah.
Oh, but who's counting?
It's my new rap name. Pointless blather.
Good times. Good
I think,
times.
I think Blathers is the name of an Animal Crossing character.
Oh, fair enough.
I think I know that because of Fiance, but I might know because no, I've never played those games. They're too cute. They're too cozy.
Got a really mumbly rapper. It's Blarshall Blathers.
He's trying to reinvent himself. I can't.
No, I'm just bringing up a picture. So, Paul, this is what you look like when you're
His
rapping, I
nickname's
guess.
Mumbles. Like it's yeah. So
He's a rapper in the Dick Tracy universe.
yeah, exactly. What is this now that you're showing us? Oh, Blathers.
Blathers.
That's Blathers.
This is
I am
Blathers.
familiar with Blathers too. I have a 12-year-old daughter that
Hey, there you go.
also plays Animal Crossing. So
Wow.
That's the curator of the museum, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
All right.
how many encyclopedia pages have you collected, sir?
Me? 0.
Sure. Cover up now. It's like
Been diving too much hell to play a game like that.
Speaking of hell, when Animal
Blathers looks
Crossing-
like he's dove some hell in his
Yeah.
day.
He's in hell right now. What are you talking about? There you go with all the fire. When the last time an Animal Crossing game came out, I think New Horizons and Doom Eternal came out they had the same release date. And instead of the fans of each game being shitty, they started doing art
Crossover.
featuring both like major characters from both, including Doom Guy running around with cute little animals and shredding demons with guns. It's fantastic.
It was pretty great.
Good times.
That's not
good
knife
times.
stuff. What about you, Dennis? What do you got for knives?
I'm also in the same vein as Joe here from last week. There was some new acquirements to be had, and also this week I had probably the last backyard golf tournament that's ever going to be had after 26 years, and I participated in 24 of them. The first two barely count. Wasn't even the right amount of holes at that point in time in the first two tournaments. So
Oh,
it's there
I
for
see.
almost all of them. But anyway, it's yeah. So with that, I had to get a shot of the very, very weird and obscure knife from Spartaco
Yeah.
There you go.
to go with a very, very obscure tradition we've had for many, many years.
Very nice.
So I'm carrying the Spyderco Polywog. It is ridiculous.
So who went home with the cup?
Johnny did. Took home his own tournament for the last one.
Good for him.
So, and he destroyed people. He was on a war path. It was, yeah.
Very nice.
I don't think he intended to, but he was eliminating people left or right. It was kind of funny. But yeah, so. Good times. Good times.
That's poetic that he gets to take the trophy home
Yeah.
on the last one.
Yeah. And he's like, I don't need another jacket. I have to make these jackets because he gives out a plaid jacket with the
Yeah.
masters. Yeah. With the crest of the Buddha Glen embossed on the plaid jacket. Yeah. But
That's pretty great.
so
he gets to keep the trophy and save money. That's a win-win.
I think he was actually recycling one of his or his son's own jackets that have won throughout the years because they're like, I don't need 5 jackets. Someone else can win. Just let them have this jacket. The reason it is the last golf tournament is my friend John is moving out of his house and they are rebuilding that entire block basically. So the house that he has lived in many, many years will be ripped down before the end of the year and it'll be the end of an era. So.
It's
Goodbye,
a shame.
golf
That was
course.
a fun course to play on. The one time I got to get in and try it. It was
ridiculous. It was ridiculous. So, but on that note, 7:30.
Did you show that Polywog open?
Yeah. I did before
camera?
you put
Nice.
the picture up. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Sure did. If you'd like to see it again, I have to take it back out of the black pouch.
Oh,
Tim,
that's okay. It's okay.
I'm not
I
carrying
like to
it.
see it.
I mean, just look at your Phoenix and then make it better.
I was gonna say the Polywog is the ugly duckling compared to the Phoenix. Come on now.
You kidding me?
Nope. Paul's just
this
like
knife,
you're both saying both of those knives are hideous.
yeah, but
Yeah,
the
but in
difference
the best way
is
possible.
the difference is when you close mine, it becomes the coolest looking knife ever.
What are you talking about? This thing looks like an illustration of a heart. It's great.
Paul?
It does look like a heart.
That's
I-
why are you encouraging him? Like,
I mean, he's got to now pin it to his sleeve.
Oh, fine. We'll
And-
talk about the reviewed knives.
I'm not 100% sure, but Eric Glasser. I don't know if you can. I don't even know if I put it on the right side of the picture that you can see his logo. No, sure didn't.
No.
I believe this was right after the Dodo, so I'm not sure which model this one is in the numerical order, but
They don't put their part number on the knife, do they?
No,
get
they
that shit
don't.
off of there. Look it up online, you lazy son of a bitch.
Oh, I'm doing it right now. Oh, did I misspell Polywog? There.
Probably.
Seems likely.
Wog doesn't bring
1L?
anything. Hold on a second.
1L or 2? And are you using an I after poly? Or a Y?
Should I be?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
you probably should.
1L and it's an I. Polywog. Okay. I don't even know what a polywog is.
It's the difference between a tadpole and a frog.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's the hybridy
Interesting.
thing that looks like a tadpole with legs. It's a polywog. I'm pretty sure.
I was gonna say.
I'm looking it
remember
up.
Being
I mean,
It's
I sounded
polywog-
so confident in my answer.
Okay, they say it's a tadpole.
Okay, so I was right. Yeah, okay.
Sure. Okay, interesting.
I remember
that-
it being a level in like swimming lessons. You were a polywog before you were anything else.
C98. That's
Oh,
the
there
number.
you go. It's up there. Damn.
What's a
Phoenix is C114. Oh, and Dodo is C80.
there you go.
Okay. So he didn't come on the scene because the Dodo was Eric's first one, right?
Yeah.
So he didn't come on the scene until well after. What was?
He was like 16 when he designed the Dodo, I think.
Yeah. And then this one was 98. And then the Mannix was 101. Good for him. He went from this to a Mannix.
He went from a Dodo to a Mannix.
Well, he went from a Dodo
What
to
a
a
downgrade.
Polywog.
How dare you?
uh,
Like, don't get me wrong, I love my Dodo. But I love my Dodo for the same reason I love the Polywog and the Phoenix.
that they're extinct. Yeah.
What?
Because you can't get them anymore. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm like, Polywogs aren't extinct.
Well, the Spyderco version is.
You're
Well.
extinct, Joe.
No, no.
I said 4
This-
minutes ago we were done with this
I was
shit.
gonna say, this tangent is extinct.
So, Civivis, Starflares, Stormhowls,
Bam. Yeah.
Stormhowls, Starflares.
Stormy flares.
Who we starting with? That's the question. We didn't talk about this beforehand, so
No, we probably should have made a decision earlier on.
yeah, it was probably smart of us.
Well,
Sometimes we do that.
I'm gonna go Stormhowl. Let's go with it. Let's do it.
Let's do that.
So,
No, wait.
yeah.
Oh, the Stormhowl. You have specs?
Yeah, I sure do. It's aluminum handle with the Nitro CVs, 58 to 60 Rockwell. Blade length of 3.3 inches overall, 7.64. Weight on this bad boy is 3.04 ounces. Blade thickness is 2.6 mils. Ball bearing system. I think we got it. I think we got it. That's the rundown. Boom, son.
We did it. We saved crit. No.
Oh,
Buzzer
button
there.
lock.
We
Ah,
did that
look at
already.
that. The zoom in on the button lock. One of those. It's one of those.
Yeah.
It is one of them's.
in a variety of flavors. I believe it is 4 flavors. We have the black with the silver milled aluminum. There is a blue and silver, a pink without silver, I believe. Yeah, the pink doesn't get the silver. And a red doesn't get the silver, but it does get the Damasteel. So, column A, column B. Come see, come
Yeah.
saw,
Come see, come saw.
Yeah. So, right off the bat, I kind of want to compare this to some of the other button looks that Civivi has come up with that have been pretty popular over the last little while. The Cubit is the other obvious one, given it's got aluminum, similar blade material, similar size, and the Conspirator, a little bit
Some
bigger.
get some size comparison. Not bad, not bad, not
A
bad.
little conspiratorial.
One might think that, yeah.
So I don't know if it's a button lock or not, but is this just a wee knife snick? Throwing it out there.
Well, no.
Do
I'm going to say no.
Joe has decided you're incorrect.
It's not, because that's a completely different knife, but yet kind of same.
Is this the knife? Is this the knife you were thinking of? The Snick? This guy? I mean, probably not the fancy version, but
yeah, kind of.
yeah, the blade's pretty similar. I don't know about the handle shape. It's close. How big is this thing? 3.5-inch blade? Kinda.
Don't make that sound ever again.
I'm gonna make it again, but I'm not gonna tell you when I'm gonna make it.
Yeah, that's. I have an idea when you might make it.
Do you?
I'm pretty sure he lost health points after that sound.
Look,
for sure.
He causes me psychic damage at every opportunity. It's only fair I get to return the favor occasionally.
Yeah, it's what I do. So it's only fair that I reap the I almost said rewards, but that's not a reward.
It's not. It really is. I mean, it's a reward for me, but it's not really for you. Here's the dragonfly.
Wee knife snick. I mean, Stormhowl, Civivi Stormhowl. I say yes. It's not the same knife, but it kind of on the point of Civivi and we definitely cross-platform a lot, and very similar designs. Maybe not the same design, but very similar designs do get cross-merchandised throughout their catalogs
and
in different formats.
I'm okay with that. I think
it's kind of like using the Spartaco formula, like regurgitating the same knife but just different materials, blah blah blah, but like kind of cross-platform on branding, right? Like it's almost getting away with the same thing, which I think might be even a smarter strategy on their part. But yeah,
well, they change enough between the designs, especially if the major similarity is just the profile of the knife. Things like blade stock thickness, lock differences, handle materials. Like, there's enough different here that it doesn't bother me. It doesn't feel like I don't know, just a titanium version of a Cubit.
yeah, exactly, right? Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think part of that might also come back to the fact that like a clip point blade and a handle of this shape are popular options just in general.
Oh yeah.
So you're gonna get iterations of stuff like this because people like them.
What was the name of that purple knife? It wasn't the Conspirator. I had it. I sold it to one of our guys here. The Cogent. Yeah, thank you.
Come on, you owned it.
Well, that's couldn't. What the fuck is it called? Yeah, the overall shape of this thing is similar-ish, but not quite. But yeah, to Paul's. Yeah, there's the purple guy. To Paul's.
Yeah, yours is on the Cogent is almost a closer.
Yeah.
For sure. And like I said, reprocessing. It's
Yeah.
But I'm gonna put some milled stripies on it.
Yes. I do like those milled stripies. A little bit.
Sometimes you need some stripies.
Yeah, just a couple few,
It's a good way to hide not having to do the most perfect anodizing job, that's for sure.
Potentially.
I guess.
Well, I mean, realistically speaking, I mean, yeah, it's not saying that's their reason for it by any means, but when I'm like, I mean, 80% of this knife is going to get sanded flat anyway for a polish. It doesn't need to be.
I will say I actually am not a huge fan of the other variations of this knife that don't have the bare aluminum flats. Like the red of the Damascus, I think doesn't have that at all.
Correct.
And
Neither
nor does
does
the pink.
the pink. And I agree with you. I think that's one of the biggest selling features on this knife that makes it stand out is that contrast between satin highs and anodized lows type of thing.
Yeah. And I mean, with
There's
the
a,
simple...
there's a country song in there somewhere.
Quick shout out to Dick Richards in chat. What is up? What are you
Hey-o.
carrying?
Oh, I have an idea.
Yo.
Yeah, and I mean, you could disassemble this knife. You could take the handle flat down to some very fine grit sandpaper and do like 2 strokes, and then have it be effectively the same finish.
Look at this guy over here. 2 strokes.
Yeah, Mr. 2 strokes over here. Wow, Mr. Endurance.
Yeah.
I prefer to lean into a belt grinder. That's fine.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'm sure you do.
And that's a fact, eh?
Yeah, that's a fucking callback. Where is that son of a bitch anyway?
It's in my Benchmade pouch.
I got my fact right here, but it's only the corners that are starting to wear because I don't carry this knife nearly as often as I should. Anyway,
2 strokes fix that right up. Like
yeah, but then I have to take the knife apart. I'm so lazy.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I
My
do.
name's proof of that.
If you say you're so lazy, no, you don't.
I care, but I am lazy. Look, let's just try to be realistic.
I still care.
I'm just a lazy son of a bitch. All right?
Don't do it. I just don't do it at all.
That's how much I care. I don't do it.
I did carry that knife a fair amount though, and functionally it was fine, but not a lot of care was taken by the previous owner in applying this kind of finish to it.
Yes, this is definitely done to a higher standard.
Yes.
I will say, slight word of caution: the pocket clip screws are threaded directly into the aluminum, so just don't over tighten these suckers. Just use a medium thread locker and don't crank on it. Congratulations, you're not going to strip out the aluminum. The threads
2
look clean.
strokes, don't crank on it. You're giving out mixed signals.
He's trying to tell me I can only have a medium locker. Like, Jesus Christ, man.
Oh, goddamn.
Medium lock, 2 strokes.
Straight to hell, both of you.
Yeah.
But hey, they countersunk the screws and the clip.
They
Both.
countersunk the screws on that side.
Yeah, so you have to take that screw out anyway to put on the pocket clip. So
well,
you
yeah,
just
I know.
swap
and it would still stand proud, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But it's like that. It's kind of weird. Where it's got you get that screw.
They're not going to countersink it twice. Like,
you're gonna know which one goes on the other side, I guess. Like it's just
harder to fuck it up.
Cheaper screws, probably for some reason. They already bought 1 billion of them.
They probably match all the body ones too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, skeletonization. Any millies?
I think there was any. I don't think I actually got a picture of the inside of the handles on this guy, but I did get a close up of that Nitro V. But
we're getting a question, and it's not about the knife that we're talking about, but I want to answer the question anyways.
Yeah, do it.
It's about this difference of CF Elite versus regular FRN, and it's stiffer.
Whoa.
It's stronger. I don't know if it's stronger, but
it is stronger. It is stiffer, and it is more lightweight. It's just a straight up benefit in every direction.
Better in every way.
So I think one of probably the biggest notable things is it's still like a reinforced nylon, like the FRN plastic is, but it's actually got carbon fiber woven through the FRN plastic, I believe is the easiest way to kind of describe it.
It's more like
embedded.
It's more like shred. It's put in the same way that glass is. It's just
rather than like a fiberglass fiber that's in most of the plastics nowadays or whatever type of thing. Or
it's carbon fiber instead of glass fiber.
It's the reason why Spyderco has to use liners on a lot of their Japan models. I don't know. Yeah, that's not going to turn up super great. Anyway, there's steel liners in here because FRN by itself is kind of flexy. Yeah, it'll move.
It will move.
It's a mover and a shaker.
Allegedly.
Okay, just looking to see if there was any sort of skeletonization because I can't really see on that either. And I didn't actually look. I don't think there is any internal millis on this one just because it is aluminum. It's probably lightweight enough at 3 ounces that they don't
Yeah.
care. They
I think of
probably
that.
weighed it. It was like 3 ounces. We're good. Yeah, whatever. Right.
It's like a bailout.
Yeah,
Got it
more
in
or less.
hand shot.
But I was just doing a quick little rundown just to see if I'd had anything about skeletonization. Watch a quick video, and I will say in the video the words sharp and exquisite blade probably drop this thing down a notch compared to what it would have been prior to me reading those words in this video.
You don't think it's sharp or exquisite?
Sharp and exquisite.
I feel like exquisite is like our word. You know what I mean? Like as a consumer,
can't say that.
I can say
no, yeah.
I can no. I mean, as a consumer,
Yeah.
we can call your knife exquisite. But when you call your knife exquisite, you sound like a pompous ass.
You sound like you work for Artisan.
Yeah.
Just showing some pictures of the jimping here. Two-tone blade on this thing.
Joe wanted to run away from that comment really good.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I didn't say who. It's exquisite, okay?
Don't worry about it. Don't you worry about my exquisite.
I don't know why, but I don't like that.
Hey, look, Ben just repeated the things on Benchmade's website that are pretty much exactly what we said. Sweet. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Keep up the good work. Go team.
Somebody's got to do
team.
the research. Verify that we actually know what we're talking about.
It's true. We need a fact checker. Ben's pretty good at that, actually.
Appreciate it.
Keeps us in line on bullshit. That's for sure.
Keeping us honest.
Anyway, yeah.
So this might just be me justifying the appearance of a dual tone blade, because as we all know, as soon as we see a coated blade, you're gonna have the hardness just drop just a little bit on these blades on average. It's Nitro V. It's pretty thin. It's ground pretty thin behind the edge. This is a steel that more leans into edge stability and toughness to begin with. I don't know that it's actually to the detriment of this particular steel all that much. I think this is the best looking knife out of the bunch, though, so maybe that's coloring my decision a little bit.
Well, and I mean, the blue with the stonewash blade, now you get a Rockwell of a 59 to 61 instead of 58 to 60.
Yeah, and I mean, that's okay. It's okay. Here it is. Yeah. It doesn't wow me as much, which is kind of annoying that I feel that way.
Wow, Joe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, if I'm going to go for a blue and silver Civivi, I think I'd actually rather go with the Cubit.
Joe, I hate that you're right.
Yeah, I hate that I'm right, too.
Yeah. No, the black on black on black on silver on black is the better option.
What are you, the LA Kings? Come on.
It's high school colors. It's fine.
That was pre-purple and gold LA Kings, or post purple and gold. Sorry.
Oh, my high school colors were black and silver. So.
Raiders, go Raiders.
Yeah.
Did you by any chance go to high school at the Oakland Raiders?
I did not.
Funnily enough, you asked. No.
Yeah. Yeah, it's what a coincidence. No.
It's funny you should ask, but nah.
All right. So, Stormhowl, you say?
Yeah.
I got nothing else for this. I don't know. It's a decent knife. It's what's the price point? 88 American. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. With the millis on the aluminum, ball bearings, Nitro V. Yeah, that's a decent price.
Yeah.
The threaded aluminum kind of blows. I wish it would be like Benchmade. See, I wish they would be like Benchmade. Put some goddamn plugs.
But then the knife would be $400.
Okay, since when has Benchmade ever plugged their aluminum? Do you have an aluminum scaled bailout we could take a look at real quick?
I have an aluminum scaled bailout. It's
sorry.
right here. Yeah.
Bailout or bug out, actually.
I'm pretty sure the bug out definitely has inserts.
For the pocket
No,
clips?
no,
Do they not?
They don't. They put them on their plastic ones. They don't do it on the aluminum.
Yeah.
Huh.
So they already are like Benchmade. How do you like that?
There you go. There you go. Keep it
Oh
up.
shit.
Set the standard.
Look,
Yeah.
they're all made in China regardless, so
There is pluggies. There is pluggies on their carbon fiber though.
for legal reasons, that was a joke.
They're
Benchmade's
coming for you, Joe.
done enough factory tours. I'm sure they're all where they say they're made.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure those factories' geolocations are exactly where they say they are.
Yeah.
So Stormhowl. Yeah, I don't know. Everything's decent on it.
Yeah. This is another example of a pretty good knife. Pocket clip interacting with the milled section of the handle. I do wish they would have left some flats, or at least had aligned the pattern in a way that it would have landed on a slightly less textured part of the handle. I don't know how they could have engineered that. Maybe just not having two of the double stripes, like just have it be solid aluminum in that one spot. Maybe that would have been too slippery. But Paul, when he had the knife in and out of his pocket, he was finding it was a little grippy. It wasn't awful, but it wasn't not awful compared to G10, but
yes, it's not putting a cold steel in your pocket by any stretch. It's not putting even a PM2 in your pocket. But I did feel the ribs rub against my pocket edge as I was putting that knife in and out of my pocket. And eventually,
hey
I
man, the
that
Stormhowl's just trying to keep its slender figure. Okay, it's
the Kate Moss of knives. It's fine.
You can count the ribs.
Yeah.
Oh god. You can lift the pocket clip the side of your finger as you draw the knife up to like release that tension a little bit. The pocket clip isn't ridiculous on its on its tightness, so you could do that.
And it gives pretty good retention. All that being said, too.
Yep.
So there is a little disclaimer on Civivi's website as well, talking about the button lock being enough resistance to avoid an accidental opening. So button lock basically being your detent, more or less, right? So
yes.
Note that the button lock is designed with a spring under the button to provide just the right amount of tension that there is enough resistance to avoid accidental opening while still offering the ideal amount of pressure to release the lock. So they've done a pretty good job. And again, it's the amount of pressure they seem to have dialed in as far as their detent action goes. You're not getting sloppy speed assists that'll jackrabbit open on you because they don't have anything stopping them from doing so, or things like that, right? So yeah, compared to a access lock or a speed assist option, I think these guys with lack of a detent still have better snap than either one of those two options.
I can agree with that.
Agreeable thing.
I think so. Yeah, I will say this. Yeah, this wasn't a knife that was very easy to misfire. Like, as long as you could find it with your finger, you'd be able to pop it open one way or another. That was for you, Paul. Don't worry about it. It's not quite as foolproof as, say, like either Paul's or my Skaha, where once you break the detent, the thing's just going to open the rest of the way. Pretty much any amount of pressure would make it flip.
Yeah, I don't know how you could make a Skaha not open.
I've had to brace with both hands and very slowly inch up on the pressure, like such an unrealistic scenario. Whereas anytime, it opens slow, but it's still open. Yeah, yeah. So I would agree. Civivi's got it pretty dialed in. I don't really have any critiques of the design of this knife. If you are not necessarily the biggest fan of aluminum handles because they're a little slippery, this might be a good thing to try out because the ribbing is fairly deep on either side of the blade. It does grip the hand pretty well. I will say this knife is just barely large enough to be comfortable I found if it was, I think that if it was going to be any smaller in the handle, at least for me, it would have been a little pinchy.
Really?
Yeah, like this it was comfortable, don't get me wrong, but it was definitely like just on the verge of being like I could see this being uncomfortable if they made like a mini and didn't change the profile for the handle at all.
I can see that. That's fair.
And I'm mostly drawing upon that from this knife actually, what is the tie tack? No. Nerk tie. I should know the names of my knives better by now. Jeez, it's been a long, long couple of weeks. But this handle here actually measures out to be fairly similar. The flipper tab does come down slightly lower, but holding in my hand, like my pinky usually lands kind of weirdly on that corner, and even if it's like it's just kind of squishy. So yeah,
you don't want your finger in a crevice.
yeah. So if you got XL hands, maybe feel these ones out in person.
Yeah, just put your hands on them.
Yeah, just grab them.
Yeah.
What's it gonna do? Complain? No.
Get them in your meat hooks.
And hey, it's lefty friendly.
Just that's like the one thing I was going to mention. Yeah, you bet. They're doing a pretty good job not ignoring us. That's cool. That's cool.
And I gotta say, depressing a button lock with my index finger, lefty, is just as easy as doing it with my thumb with my right hand.
Yep.
Like you've said before, Dennis, that some people kind of like overcompensate. They're like, yeah, this knife's not lefty friendly because of this. And you're like, no, that works. Just
there's
fine.
There's YouTube reviewers that just straight up say the button locks aren't as lefty friendly, and I'm like, what world are you living in that you can't like squeezies?
It's so easy.
Just do because a squeezy.
It's your pinchy fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so there's actually a high-end production American-made knife. Brown Knives, I think, makes it, and it's literally like it's a compression lock liner thing that's actuated from the non-show side, and it's made for right-handed people.
Nice.
So it's like kind of just like guys are making that specifically for right-handed users. It just happens to benefit left-handed people in that particular way, and everybody seems to be happy with that. So
there you go.
Especially me.
Use your thumb.
Especially Dennis.
So yeah, I don't have a ton more about the Stormhowl.
No.
The big thing for me on this particular knife is actually the name itself. And I don't know what it is with Civivi and we playing off of like, okay, we just named a knife the Storm Ridge. Now what should we name the next knife? Let's name it the Stormhowl. You're like, yeah, that's it type of thing, right? Like, So I don't know. And then there's like
they just flip open the baby book of knife names and run down a page, and then they just continue on from there.
I got the high fin and the kite fin, and then like now there's a coming soon. There's a sword fin coming out, and like.
What was the name of that liner or frame lock to liner lock that confused the shit out of us? We're like, what? They just moved letters around.
Yeah.
Like they just moved letters around. They didn't even make a new name.
Legally distinct, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's literally like they have like 20 or 30 words in like a bingo basket that they're rolling around the tumbler, and they just pull it out, and whatever the first name and the last name is, it's like, your new stripper name. That's what they're doing to name knives now. And seriously, I think I have this like G42 as the old guy comes out, and that's all right. Well, I guess we're naming this knife the G42 now. Like it's so. I don't know.
I mean, it's the answer to all life's questions.
Yeah. What this guy must have lived on, like, Storm Street or something. Like it's
I mean, it is definitely named the way that subdivisions are named in this country, where every single street is a play on the same word.
Yeah.
Yeah, and look,
It's the Stormhowl Crescent, you know.
as
Yeah, exactly.
Good God. But as far as like a naming convention where it's like I need to name this thing a thing so that other people can know to call it that thing. Okay, sure, fine. You are not zero tolerance. You're giving an actual name to your product. That's good.
Yes. Yeah.
But
Yes.
I kind of would prefer that there was some sort of a meaning behind the name, just something. Like, I don't necessarily care to explain to everyone that the Ulize is called the Ulize because it's part of Ulrich's, what was it, the designer Ulrich's name, Uli, and the end of the German word for police, apparently, is you mash those up together, and that's how you get the name. Okay, cool. There's at least a story there that has something to do with the designer or the design.
So,
or, yeah.
I always thought it was Iluze instead of Ulize or whatever you're like. So yeah, it's funny that the dude's name was Uli. Because that's when at the beginning of the episode, I was like, "Oh, what was it?" I always heard it or thought it was pronounced. Yeah,
it was they say the description was the concept for the Ulize began with a German policeman nicknamed Sony. So yeah, go figure. It's it's all over the map there, but yeah,
they couldn't name it the Sony for obvious reasons, though, Joe.
Well, yeah.
You can't control me.
I mean, I can try.
Would you want to?
No, not really.
Yeah, that's like please, Matt.
Anyway,
on in the vein of the names and stuff like that, I definitely do find myself with the Stormhowl, and what's the other one? The Fixed Blade.
The Storm Ridge.
Yeah.
The Storm Ridge. I'm constantly forgetting one or the other's name.
Here's an easy way to remember. A howl is a sound. The folder makes a sound when you open it. It's howling. There you go.
What? No.
Super stupid.
Now I'll just never remember the other one's name.
Oh well, it has a ridge on it. You see.
This one's got ridges.
Yeah, but the storm. Well, okay, hold on.
See, and then the Starflare, it flares.
So there's a ridge on the storm bridge right up towards the peak where you put your thumb. It's got a little.
You need to stop. You need to stop, Joe. Joe, just stop. Just
let it be like Elsa. Let it go.
No, fuck that. I'm gonna hold a grudge forever.
That's fair. I deserve that.
Just like Elsa.
Just.
Oh wait, we didn't watch the same movie, did we?
No, I don't think I ever actually saw that movie.
No, same.
All right. So yeah. Final scores.
Oh, it gets a perfect 7 out of 10. Yeah.
Perfect.
This knife will
Can't
have you
get any
howling
better
at the
than
moon.
that. You can't get better than that.
Literally
howling
impossible.
At the moon, howling at the storm.
Yeah, it's another solid entry. It's another. I don't really have a pun for this one.
It is adequate.
Look, I think Stormhowl works because that sounds like the name of like a super secret commando group from G.I. Joe cartoon or something like that. And if they're gonna carry one of the knives, one of the Stormhowls, it's gonna be the black and silver one.
I don't know for sure, but I feel like Stormhowl is definitely a G.I. Joe, or I almost said Decepticon, but Cobra.
It's like you're thinking of Starscream, which actually is a sick name for a knife. But anyway,
yeah,
we got a Starflare to talk about next. But
so the only other thing I could find is Stormhowl was something in Diablo.
Really?
Yeah.
What Diablo 1?
Although legendary is the name of a legendary sword in the Tales of Basiria.
Oh.
Shinto background?
Diablo 1, 2, 3.
Oh no, never mind. It was WoW. It wasn't Diablo.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean? You're the only one who's played.
Yeah, that's how I know I can go.
That's why it's. Oh.
Yeah, I'm clean.
Yeah. I think we all have games like that.
I've been clean for like 15 years. I ain't never going back.
Can't make you.
So, and even Stormhowl is, the Tales of Vesperia is a video game. So, yes, they've named it after a couple of different video games.
Well,
so.
I wonder if they must just be making shit up and hoping that there's some sort of connection somewhere that people can make, because they don't talk about the names.
No, I'm pretty sure Dennis is right, and then they're just spinning a wheel.
Or someone that is at the Civivi design team is a big WoW nerd.
If we could somehow link all of these back to WoW, that would actually be kind of funny.
Probably not. But this particular one, maybe. They're like, hey, this is a cool sword. Let's name it after the cool sword in WoW.
A gold farmer grew up, started making knives.
Which, I mean, if that's the case, and I now know what Stormhowl means, I'm going to have to rate this knife at least 18 nerds, because I think that's how many I can get through before I start to get tired.
Before the Nitro V starts to slow down?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Oh dear.
The ball bearings are really gummed up at that point. It's
so much grease, so much blood.
No, it's just grease.
Cheeto dust.
Cheeto dust and hair grease.
Cheeto dust.
And shame. My knife's clogged with Cheeto dust and shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I freed up your parents' basement, so it's win-win.
Hateful. I like it.
Well, 18 nerds. That's 18 parents set free.
I'm gonna rate this $17.99 a month, because that's the last time I remember knowing the WoW monthly price.
So $17.99 a month, you say?
Yeah.
I used to buy 3-month blocks in gift card form.
I know. I had friends who did the same shit.
So you rated this knife $215.88, sir.
What the hell are you talking about?
$17.99 a month. That's what you rated it. So on a yearly annual salary, you rated this knife $215.88.
No. I only rated it on a monthly basis.
It's a month-to-month basis. It's Columbia House. You can't get away once you're in, man. Come on. You're in it for the full $215, and this knife's only worth $88, you son of a bitch. Just like Columbia House.
Yep. Oh.
All right. That's about a way to end the straight for that one. We're doing a Starflare? You want to start on Starflare?
Yeah, how about another completely different, not at all similar to the knife we just talked about, aluminum handled, Sandvik steeled, I think.
They should have called the Starflare the Comet. It's literally got comets on it.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's also Nitro V, so we're looking at something that's pretty similar.
And P.S. Wee Knives also has a knife called the Starhawk. Just throwing it out there.
Of course they do. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
We've got them on order. We got a good deal on them because they got discontinued. So we might actually have a promo on Wee Knives. Starhawk's coming soon. Anyway, we'll review that knife too. We'll bitch at it for stealing a Starflare name. Yeah.
That weird thing. This looks nothing like the Starflare. Let's talk about the Starflare.
Oh yeah, the Starflare is a much nicer knife. It's fine.
Yes. What? A Civivi nicer than a... Yes. Yes.
Oh my.
How about some specs?
I suppose I can do that.
Yeah.
You can get it in a plethora of 4 gray aluminum handles. It is... We've got the lime greeny one and the black on black one that we're playing with this time as well. You can also get a grayed out with a satin blade, as well as a red aluminum with Damasteel. They seem to have that trend a lot, red and Damasteel.
Yeah.
Although green and Damasteel, just to throw everyone on their toes every once in a while.
Also,
because
not really Damasteel.
Oh, yeah. No, it's not Damasteel. It's just Damascus. It's VG10. It's the fanciest of the Damascuses.
Yeah.
This one is the 59 to 61 variation because it is the silver. Is the black on black 58 to 60 on this one too?
I believe so. We could double check
Probably.
that. Yeah.
Probably. Overall length is 7.9 inches. Blade is 3.3. Blade thickness is 3 mils. Weight is 3.45 ounces. Nitro V 59 to 61. Warren Cliffy aluminum button lock, ball bearing, Nitro V. We got everything. Boom.
I think so.
These are my goodbye guns. Cool.
Yeah.
Listed price of $85.
Yes.
But I'll give it to you for 215.
No.
Check Cutting Edge for more competitive prices.
Yes.
Don't go to Columbia House. They'll rip you off.
Yeah, they really will. We're being asked about an access lock and whether or not it can baton like a triad lock. Like in a knife that's built like some of the cold steels, probably. You could probably take a full-sized Adamas and baton with it without too much issue.
I have done those things, but
the DBK boys did beat on their normal OG plastic handled bug out to high hell, and we're super impressed with it.
Absolutely, but I don't know that I would recommend doing it.
No, I would take my cold steel over my bug out, knowing my bug out could do it in a survivally or some sort of extreme situation if I needed to. Would be one thing type of idea. If I had the two knives in my hand and said which one am I going to go beat up in the woods, probably wouldn't be my bug out. So. But the bug out is thin and slicey and an everyday carry. That's going to be kind of sweet.
Yes. Yep. The one thing I'll say about that is the crossbar on the axis lock of the bug outs. They're all titanium. So maybe don't wail on them too hard. You might deform the bar. Other models like the Freak or the Redoubt, those all have steel lock bars. So they're going to be a little bit stronger.
Good times, good times. Relevant size comparison. Nice, nice, very nice.
I think I also popped one open earlier with the, it's got the Stormhowl above it. So a little bit more real estate for your fingies there. Less complicated ergos means it's pretty comfy in hand for most people, I find. It's kind of a wide knife thanks to that big circular sort of section right in the middle there. I did not grab in-hand shots of this particular one. That would have been kind of helpful, but, oh well.
I will say, though, with this particular one, and because it's not a flipper, it's a thumb stud with a button lock, where that giant oversized pivot sits is where your finger sits, and some people will not like having their front finger that close to the blade, whereas your second finger is almost sitting in the swoopy. I think if you put your first finger back into the swoopy, it would feel weird.
I've held it both ways. I find I grab it, I do a Joe grip on it and go with the flat.
Yeah, you're tempting fate with the buttons. I see.
Yeah, but it's recessed, and I've got a nice raised round platform with a nice texture to it.
It just said it conveniently had this giant dimple in your thumb that you could put right over top of where it is.
Yeah.
Button locks really don't work for you then, do they? It's got this weird hole in my thumb. Yeah, Des horned up over there.
Yeah, got a little sort of size comparison here. So just to show side by side, the Civivi is a little bit longer in the handle. This guy definitely fits even an angled grip. But yeah, like Dennis is saying, your index finger does get pretty close to that edge. It ends up on the round part in that sort of a grip for sure. I didn't mind it though. I actually really like the look of this knife as well. There may be a few similarities going on here with the swoopies and the sweepies, but I'm happy this is aluminum instead of something like steel, because otherwise this would be a pretty heavy boy.
Yeah, a couple things that definitely made me turn my head a little bit. 3 mils on the blade stock, but overall length almost 8 inches long. It's not a small knife, right? Like it's
not by any stretch.
3.3-inch blade, and you're almost 8 inches overall.
Yeah,
like the ratio on that is like it's a little something. It doesn't look as lopsided as what the stats actually claim, right? Like,
yeah, that might be so that you can put your first finger in that finger choil. Whether or not people would like doing that, beside the point, but
yeah. And if I recall correctly, that's actually why I took this photo the way I did, with the handles offset but the blade edges kind of lined up together, is to show that you're missing basically one of my finger widths off the back end of this knife, and the consequence is that you're quite close. So you don't have to be on the Starflare, which is nice. Very straight blade on this thing. It's becoming more and more popular, this type of blade shape. I guess you could call this a Wharncliffe. I'm a fan, honestly, of this thing. It's a little bit dressier, just the general aesthetic of it, at least in my opinion. Um,
It's got really nice, and I know this is strictly like a cosmetic-y or like a non substantial part of the knife, but it's got a good clack to it when it opens.
it
It really
does.
does.
It's very
I was
poppy, like.
Yeah.
I was lamenting to Joe that we couldn't film a like sound gif of the pop because I wanted people to hear it right now.
Well, and like I said, the good clack is the best
Yeah.
like kind of description I can have for it is when it does pop there, the aluminum's got a good kind of reverberation to it.
Yeah.
Right?
Good thwacky.
I
Yeah.
wonder if the pivot construction has something to do with that because they do have this. Do I have a photo that shows both off at the same time? Both. I don't think so. So here's just a close up. That middle section, I don't know if that's like a separate collar that's been installed after the fact, or if that part just wasn't anodized. In the case of the green guy, I guess I'm not sure. But all that extra material, I'm thinking, is what's affecting that sound because you don't hear it with the Stormhowl. When that thing opens, it sounds kind of like you would expect. Not too dissimilar from some other aluminum handled flipper knives I've played with before. This is a fun little sound.
Knowing other knives that I've taken apart from these companies, I bet you it's probably a separate piece.
Yeah.
That's keyed in.
Yeah, I would probably bank on that one as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I did have to take a double take at it when it first came.
Yeah, ambidextrous, and then the screws on this guy is a choice. It's recessed as well, but then they also recessed the other side.
Yes, sort of. Did they? Yes, they did. Yeah, so different screws, but yes, they did recess both of them, which is neat. Not a recessed clip necessarily, but yeah, recessed screws, which is nice. I don't really feel too bad about that. I mean, this thing went in and out of the pocket pretty easily. Not a lot of traction with the smooth handles.
No, this was really nice in pocket.
And on that note, while I was just finished saying I really like these kinds of blades for the work you could do with them. And while ergonomically that finger control gives you a decent amount of purchase, this definitely isn't the type of knife I'm going to be using out in the rain. Like if I have wet or slippery hands for some reason, it's probably not the first best choice. But I think for most people in most situations, day to day, it's okay. Maybe just not outdoors.
I feel like it has enough texture in a dry hand to be fine, like in an EDC situation. There's just enough texture that it doesn't feel slick in my hand. But yeah, and hard work or out in the rain or something like that, I don't know this would be my first choice either.
I do like it. I don't know if you necessarily have a picture where it zooms out and lines up really, really nicely, but with that nice distinct comment line transitioning from the blade to the handle.
There's a shot here, yeah.
Where it really is very seamless on if you're looking at it from an overhead and it transitions all the way down the length of the knife as well. Civivi has some pictures that kind of really stand out on
maybe actually the double
their website.
This is pretty close, but yeah, it is still kind of offset in my photos here. Yeah, it's close. It's close on their website too.
So yeah. I like the nice aesthetic of the flow to that for sure, and it becoming the top of the grind.
Yes, there needs to be more decorative elements like this in knives. Just kind of full stop.
And I think there's a fine line because you've got the over decorative or too elaborate, too extravagant, and you lose it because it becomes almost a tacky kind of flair type of thing. But I think a lot of companies have gotten some of that by the wayside, and it's just now if I just put an anodized barrel spacer or a pivot collar on something, now that's flashy enough you can get away with it.
Yeah.
And there's not enough of these kind of small, subtle little accents, I guess, that'll make a lot of guys kind of like a little more tickled about it than
Yeah.
just green barrel spacers or whatever. Yeah. So
Can
Yeah.
I be honest about the handle? I like the pattern and the fact that the line follows through the blade and everything else, but I kind of wish it was actually cut into the handle.
like milled
I
all
want
the
to
way
see this.
through.
I want to see the silver.
Oh, I see.
Oh.
Instead of
Like cut it after the fact, after the
So
anno.
like the Stormhowl there.
yeah,
Kinda,
that
yeah.
probably would have looked better.
I like the way it looks now, but that would have just been like next level.
Would have really offset it. Maybe they thought that that was too loud.
See, what they need to
Not
do is
sure.
they needed to put the silver through the handle, but then whatever color the handle was, put that color going the line
the
through
blade?
the blade. Yeah. Green stripe going up the blade. Silver line going through
So-
the
Poison
handle.
damage.
I know that CRKT did that for their little minimalists. They had a couple of knives that did that with some sort of color deposition. I don't know what the tech was called. I can't remember.
And
But
then
I-
they said, don't cut food with it, it'll kill you.
I thought they said
Nah,
it was safe.
What, gun blue? Cold blue?
No, the green that they used for the gears and the blue they used for the little Cthulhu dude.
Yeah, they said that's safe. It's
Yeah.
not coming off.
That's what they say.
I mean, I haven't seen any with it coming off.
Actually, yeah, that's true. We've had a few in for sharpening. Don't think I've ever seen them. Mine looks pretty decent. Yeah. So aesthetically, I think this knife is a win. I think this knife looks great. I think it feels good.
Action-wise, again, snappy with the button lock detents.
Yeah.
It's good times. Good times.
Looks great, sounds great.
I will say that if and again, it seems weird, like we kind of have to dig for something to really bitch about. But if I had to dig for anything, I would say that this knife kind of rides the line of a work knife and a sort of what was it, the genticles, the gentleman's tactical. Yeah, it kind of rides that line a little bit for me with how thick the handle is. It's on the edge of being like, this is a little. It feels just slightly awkward. Could have been thinned out a little bit more.
That hit me in the genticles.
Good. Square in the tentacles.
Yeah.
I don't think it's enough to dissuade. I don't know. What do you guys think? Are the handles like just a little bit on too much on the thick side? Because that was one thing that kind of stood out to me a little bit.
Left to right or top to bottom?
I don't know what that means, so I'm just gonna say thickness like this.
I don't find it thick.
Oh,
Hey.
Dennis bounced.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. I
Oh,
lost you
oh,
for a minute and a half there.
Oh shit!
Welcome back.
I was just saying, as far as stretching for a something to bitch about, thickness of the handle this way from scale
Left to
top to
right.
scale top. Do you find that that's a little bit overly thick for the design? Because if I were to critique at all, I would say I kind of wish they would have slimmed it out a little bit. Maybe not to the degree of the Stormhowl, but maybe approaching.
I mean, the aluminum slabs do have a certain amount of thickness. I wonder if that complies with kind of the spring size and spring tension, but also not like Adamas thick, right?
Yeah.
No.
But also,
I mean-
probably affects the thwack.
Handle thickness is 12 mils, 0.47 of an inch. So
Less than half inch. Yeah.
It's
It's
not.
not even as thick as a PM2, I don't think.
No, I don't
No.
think so.
and again, griping
Yeah.
about things. You can slim it out by bug out slim because you got all the right materials to do it. But this blade thickness is 3 mils. The blade thickness is thicker than the Narrow's whole knife is, man. Like it's.
I feel like this might be a
But look
rounding
at
error.
the savings.
Look
A
at the
rounding
savings.
error.
The narrow is just in general is a rounding error.
Something like that.
They rounded up.
Yeah.
For sure they did. There was something else I was going to get. Oh, yeah. As far as things nitpicking, underwhelming, blah, blah, blah. The pivot collar is more underwhelming than I wanted it to be. And maybe it's the powder coating that almost makes it look plastic.
So on the
I don't know.
two-tone, I would agree with you. But does it still? It does kind of look plastic on the green, at least in these pictures. Yeah. I don't know.
So funny enough, I actually like it better on the two-tone. I like that darker gray, but I would prefer that on the lime green.
And if you look at the red one, it's actually got a black pivot color, and I don't know if it would be any better or not, but the flat black almost looks like it might be better than the gray.
I really don't like that I think of knives this way, but every time I see these bright red handles like this in aluminum, it just reads as cheap. And I know it's not. I know it's literally just a color difference. Um, but it just looks bad.
It's
At
too
least to
red.
So,
me.
but yeah, that's the one thing that I kind of, for me, was I don't know if I want to say a bit of a letdown, but if anything, I was hoping for more, I guess, for it to stand out and be more of a feature, because they sure make it look like a feature, right? With this
Yeah.
big oversized pivot collar, and then you get it, and you're like, oh yeah, it's there. Like that's
Yeah,
that's
no,
all. I guess
that's a pretty good
that's
way of putting it though, because yeah, like if you look at it, there's a lot of room for embellishment and other things going on. Like the fact that they didn't do like charge me an extra little bit of dollars or whatever you got to do, but like do some kind of funky milling work or something on the
some circular mills in
yeah,
the
do a starburst pattern from the center of the pivot, like do something.
yeah,
Like
and I
That would be
think for
nice.
me, yeah, something, and you could have put $88 instead of $85. It would have been fine. I mean,
yeah.
you did all that milling on the Stormhowl, and it was only 88. So
Yeah.
you could have done something on the pivot collar, even if it had been 90, to raise it an extra $5. Because Civivi's been pretty reasonable about keeping their prices not crazy when it comes to like small details, jacking your price. You're not paying $50 pivot collars or anything like that type of thing.
Yeah.
Actually, you got a pivot collar in this one, and you paid less money than the last knife that we just reviewed. It's,
Yeah, kind of interesting. Yeah.
so,
Fancy.
Yeah, no,
but
I hadn't
like I
considered that
said,
until you brought it up. But yeah, now that you've said it, it's ruined this knife for me.
my biggest kind of like I said, me trying to find something to kind of
Yeah, yeah,
gripe and nitpick about is the underwhelming pivot color, for lack of a better term, right?
yeah.
So,
And I mean, it's for all kinds of knives, and sure, this is the best example, but these two are literally the closest on hand. As far as overall aesthetics go, nice continuous curve from one end of the knife to the other, like pretty consistent, relatively straight edge. Like that's an aesthetic that I really personally dig. So I still like this knife. I would still recommend it to most people if you like it in hand. Um, Nothing really wrong here. Just wish they had gone a little bit further in the extra mile. Especially now that you've mentioned too, like talking about Paul's comment on having the handle milled, or was it
Yeah,
Dennis's
it was
comment
me.
on having the okay, yeah. Paul's comment with having the handle milled, so you'd have like the silver streaks leading up to like the offsetting the color from the handles. Imagine if they had done the black pivot collar from the black on all of them, but then had just done the aluminum milling through that, so you
through
get
just a single line, even of whatever it was. Yeah.
yeah, so you have that starburst pattern. Like come on, it'd be full of shit.
I agree. If you had it all lined up all the way through, and you
Mhm.
obviously can because you lined everything else up.
Yeah, everything else seems to be keyed well enough. So yeah,
Um, the Starflare doesn't look very fidgety. It's actually opposite of that bed. Um, the snappy, the poppy, and even the finger flick. I was telling Paul I don't like finger flick and thumb studs nearly as much as Spidey, and this one is one of those ones where you can actually sit there and Spidey flick it. And I think the most addictive part of it when it comes to the fidgety is that clack sound. When you
Mm-hmm.
clack it and then you close it
yeah.
again, you're like, oh yeah, that's fun. Clack it, a clack clack. Yeah.
Yeah, it it's delightful.
So yeah, I don't know what else we got on this guy. Again, internal millies. I don't think so, but with aluminum, don't need to. You're good. You're good.
Yeah,
Put that blade on a different knife handle or a different not handle, different handle color. That
yeah. The red and the Damascus combo.
I like their green in Damascus better myself, but
Yeah,
I wish it was just an option you could pick blade type for whatever color you
here's your
preferred.
handle variations. You can get them in silver, black, or Damascus.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
I didn't mention James Brand Green. Yeah, good for you guys. Good for you guys for stealing James Brand Green. That's I appreciate that. It's
Yeah. To hell with them.
James Brand Green. Is this the green that they use?
The James Brand is all about this limey green.
Sure is. It's their thumb studs. It's
the accents on some of their they've got. I think it's. Oh, what is the big fancy knife that they've got? The Carter or whatever has the star pattern on the lime green.
There's the green there. There's that green there. Okay, they have a couple of them.
If you put James Brand lime green, it would come up. Yeah,
so?
the thumb study. Yeah, the lanyard. They've got
oh god, yeah, that's
scales.
garish shit. The Folsom. Okay.
That's the one. That's the one I was thinking of. Yeah. And those little slippies too. They did the slippies.
And your little slippies too.
And they were 12C27 for way too much money.
Sounds familiar. That sounds familiar.
Electric Moss.
That's a sweet name for a band.
Don't step on that. You'll get shocked.
Exhilarating.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be shocked with what happens next.
All right. Thoughts, feelings?
I am disturbed by how much it looks like that Spyderco of Joe's.
The Death's Horn?
Yeah. It really feels like they just copied it line for line. They copied their homework.
Yeah, okay, but if you go further back, you got some old Kershaws that have some of those vibes too. There's definitely some repeats in history.
Yeah,
for sure. When it comes to
Ken Onion Centafonte, that's got that same blade shape.
Yeah, exactly, right? And then this isn't actually that far off. Well, his is more so than a Kiwi. His is just a fancy freaking Kiwi, man. That's all the Death's Horn is. Yeah.
It is a pretty fancy Kiwi.
Whereas this one, it does remind me of like I said, old TRKTs. There's probably some old or old Kershaws, some old TRKTs, stuff like that type of thing that have this flow to it for sure.
It's not a leak, but it's kind of got some vibes.
Yeah, a little
it's
bit.
Leaking, you know.
It's leaking.
You know. Yes, and yes, Ken Onion from Hawaii. It's very important.
Oh yeah. The Concorde. That's what this model was based off of. Okay.
Well, look at him go. He's trying to find things. There it is. Yeah, that's
God
fancy.
Damn, he makes a pretty knife.
He sure does.
You should buy one of these ones, Joe.
Oh, good lord. If I could afford it.
Yeah.
Good times. Good times.
Here's a zoomed in. Look at this. Look. Just bask in the beauty of this totally unrelated knife.
Hello.
Yeah.
I don't even care. I don't even know which one you're talking about right now. I'm just liking them all.
So, yeah. Scores?
7 Death Horns.
Out of 10?
Hey!
It's a perfect score?
It's a perfect score. We're being asked why we didn't send the Death Horn out.
You mean the knife that hasn't been made for half a dozen years? And
no, I think he's talking about the customs.
Oh, yeah.
Good lord, yeah, because we could afford even the fucking pins used to assemble one of those things.
I mean, this is just going to conveniently lead us into our next conversation, and that's about our price, Patreon prices going up. No, you want it? You gotta pay for it, bitches.
Yeah. Christmas 2024, here we go.
Look,
2024. We're gonna do it by the end of this year.
No. We're gonna say we're gonna do it by the end of this year. It's not gonna happen.
We started Christmas 2023 and 2022, man. We got at least 3 years before we can.
Before we have to deliver.
Yeah.
Before we have to deliver.
It's just gonna be a picture of a Death Horn.
Yeah. Sad because it's true.
Yeah. It'd be on really glossy paper though, so you're welcome.
We're just gonna send people kiwis.
Why just send me this desiccated fruit in the mail? Well, it wasn't one we sent you. I don't know, man.
No, the Spinaco kiwi. It's poor man's death horn.
No, actual kiwis.
Actual kiwi, like the bird.
Yeah. Why not?
It's all desiccated.
Yeah. I got a score for it.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Yeah. It's up to 36 nerds. I'm doubling the nerd killing here for this one. But the reason is because someone on Civivi's design roster is the biggest freaking gaming nerd in the world, because a Starflare is a skin in Fortnite and apparently is also something on WoW too. It's a character. There's a character named Starflare on World of Warcraft as well. So both the knives we reviewed today were World of Warcraft references, and then Starflare is also a Fortnite reference as well.
That's enough for me to want to pull the plug of this whole shebang.
That's it. You guys are getting a 0 out of 10. I take back my perfect score.
You know,
I don't think you're allowed to
say,
show that on camera here, Joe. I think YouTube has rules against that.
I was gonna say, hey, that's dark. I was gonna say I'd give this thing a standing ovation because it is a star with flair for the dramatic. But no, instead, I'm going to say this thing is a pretentious bitch.
I'm gonna.
I award you 0 points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Take out 36 nerds, and then do the gritty afterwards.
The gritty.
It's one of the stupid Fortnite dances.
I was gonna say, Dennis has been.
I'm a little daughter, man. I can't help knowing these things. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? She's like, I'm doing the gritty. I'm like, stop doing that. Like,
that is weird.
That's weird. Stop doing it. You don't even play that game.
Dude, I play that game with my fiance and her little brother, and I don't know the names for any of that shit.
Dances?
I just shoot people and not think about it. Come on.
Try not to think about the consequences.
Oh God, that was Daffy Duck. Oh no, that was Darth Vader. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Buy these knives. Buy them at cutting edge.
Buy them.
Gamer City.
They're great.
Now we just have to look into how many knives are actually like gamer references on Wii and Civivi's platform, because I bet you it's a lot. I bet you it all of a sudden is making sense on why these names look like they're all bags out of the hat, is because it's the same 4 designers from WoW naming this shit.
I was gonna say, have they just been dog whistling WoW nerds this entire goddamn time, and that's how they stay afloat financially?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Genuinely. Hey Joe, learn how to do the gritty.
So
I don't even know what to picture in my head.
Yeah, it's gritty.
Is it like
it's the running in place one.
I know, like it looks like you're doing like a push slide kind of thing. That one actually looks kind of cool if you could pull it off. I'm a white guy. I can't dance, so I'm not gonna try. But
a white guy. No, but you can play the hell out of Fortnite. The white guy.
There is that. Boy, can I press buttons. Yeah.
Boy, howdy.
Can waste time escaping reality with the best of them.
Oh, dude, I could disassociate like no one's business.
You don't even know.
The temptation to cut off mid-sentence.
Didn't you hear? I shot Daffy Duck the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Well, look, he had it coming.
It was Wabbit season after all.
All right, gentlemen. I think that leads us out. I got nothing for extra topics. Zero.
Me neither.
No. I think we get a recess this week.
We get a free pass.
Yeah. This week's been a long one, so
gonna run around outside and enjoy the weather, and by that I mean the rain.
Is it raining right now?
It's not. Well, it might be there, but it's not here.
It looks pretty clear here for the most part.
It's mighty sunny. I'm having to lean forward because if I lean back, my face just goes pale. like milk.
Your skin's so milky, Paul.
Yeah, just call me the milkman.
Oh no, I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna do it.
I won't do that. I will not.
I refuse.
Yeah.
So
Oh, the
you're the one that's responsible for all those pregnancies in the 50s?
It all starting to make sense.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Those dropping test scores. Fuck you for laughing at that.
I was gonna say something horrifying, and I'm just gonna not say that thing.
Okay.
And say thank you for
joining. After.
Thank you for joining us for another shit show. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. We in Civivi, Stormhowl, Starflare, all the stormy nights. You know.
I guess we already thanked the cutting edge. Should I thank our Patreon followers for continuing to follow us even more?
Well, I think you got both of them right there. I didn't thank the cutting edge. I just redirected them a couple times for more competitive pricing other than Columbia House, right? So, I mean, I can actually thank them for not being Columbia House as well. That's always a good thing. I mean, I don't think I'd be working for them at that point.
I was accidentally on our Instagram page recently.
Accidentally.
Accidentally, I didn't realize I was on it. But I was in the search or whatever. What's the For You page?
Sure, yeah.
And the entire For You page was like telling me how to make money on Instagram. Every single one was just like tips and tricks, and I was like, I feel attacked.
Yeah, well,
look, this account reeks of desperation. Let's just ham-fist it.
Like, well, come on, don't worry, buddy. You can post stuff. You'll make some money.
Please.
You just can't use certain words.
Or discuss knives or.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just don't say the word knife.
I had one. The Damascus sellers and the guys that are the merchandise and lifestyle brand clothing and blah 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 that are always trying to spam you and be like, hey, would you like to be an ambassador? And blah blah blah. Yeah, I had a guy that would Damascus Knife Company. I can't even remember what it was called, but joined me here the other day and sent me a message that would literally, hey, would you like to buy this knife? And then just a picture. I'm like, you are the most upfront, greasy salesman that I have talked to in a long time. Credit for just cutting to the chase.
No.
Yeah,
no, I would not.
No, I just deleted the chat like every other one. But I gave him credit before I did it.
Delete the chat and block.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep
not beating around the bush.
keep forgetting to do that second part, getting some interesting chats rejoined over and over. It's like, why does this keep showing up?
But on that note, thank you to the Cutting Edge. Competitive pricing, not for being a Damascus seller and not for being a Columbia House. So
hold on. We sell the Cutting Edge sells Damascus. It's
Damascus, not Damascus.
Not Damascus.
We even sell some Damasteel from time to time.
Hell yeah. All $700 of it.
Convince Joe now to order a raw blank of Future on Forge. We could be a supplier for that too. It's only 2 Gs.
Yeah, it sure is.
Sleep now.
I'm thinking about it.
You'll wake up and realize it was all just a dream.
Where'd my 2 Gs going? Where all this Damascus come from?
Yeah, why am I up to my neck in Damascus steel and misshaped handles?
Oh God.
Thanks to Patreon. Enjoy your new toys.
Indeed.
You paid for them over the course of many, many years. We just held it for you and then gave it back to you.
And then chose what you wanted to buy with it.
Yeah, exactly. Investments by Pokey Factor.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Don't invest. Don't.
Yeah. Divest as quickly as possible.
Anyone else? Facebook, subscribe. We're back again next week. Is that a thing? I think that's.
I mean, we're back next week. Facebook links, no. God no. Oh God no.
Facebook
Yeah,
thanks. Oh,
you
no.
did say Facebook, and I know that
Did.
Instagram is
YouTube.
part of Facebook, but
YouTube.
or the other thing, the thing he said that I didn't say.
You that tube, damn it.
I don't know. Just start liking shit.
It's got to be good for somebody, right? Yeah.
I'm gonna like all the things. I mean, we're gonna get tagged eventually. It's for sure. I'm playing the long con.
It's just a numbers game. It's just a numbers game.
Yeah, exactly. Eventually, we're gonna get tagged. All right, gentlemen, we'll be back again here next week. Thank you again for everyone who joined us. 7:15 Mountain Standard Time. Yeah, good times. Good times. We'll see you all here again next week. Thanks again, everybody. I am who I am. I'm Dennis Vipers.
I am there and Joe.
And I'm XL.ca.
Bid you toodles.
I said good day.
Did you say bitchy toodles?
Bitchy toodles.
I bid you toodles.
Nope, Bitchy Toodles is your rap name.
Bitchy toodles. McGee.
I'm on board.